forget avocado for a moment. There's a far more powerful gift from nature, one that quietly holds the key to bringing back the strength you thought time had taken away. Most people believe that losing muscle and energy with age is an unavoidable part of growing older. They start to accept the feeling of heaviness in their legs, the struggle to climb stairs, or the effort it takes to rise from a chair. But what if that belief is the very reason the body stops trying to rebuild? What if your body isn't breaking down at all? It's simply waiting for the right nourishment, the right message, to awaken its repair system once again. Every day, I meet men and women who tell me, "Barbara, I feel fine, but I can't do what I used to. My legs feel weaker, my hands shake when I lift things, and even simple chores leave me tired." They believe their muscles are vanishing because they've crossed a certain age. Science has a name for this process, sarcopenia, but I like to describe it differently. To me, it's not a disease or a curse of aging. It's a quiet form of starvation, not from lack of food, but from lack of real nourishment. Your muscle cells are hungry not for calories, but for specific elements, minerals, fats, and amino acids that act like keys to turn on their strength again. Imagine your muscles as a garden. In youth, it's full of rich soil, sunlight, and water. The plants, your fibers, grow thick and strong. But as life goes on, we stop feeding that garden properly. We trade fresh foods for packaged meals, spend more time indoors, and expose our bodies to stress and chemicals that drain the soil of its minerals. The roots are still there, waiting to grow again, but without the right nutrients, even the healthiest garden begins to fade. That's what happens to your body when muscle loss creeps in. Not decay, just neglect. You see, muscle is more than tissue. It's your body's power plant. Every heartbeat, every deep breath, every step depends on it. When the muscles begin to fade, your entire system slows down. Your blood sugar rises, your bones weaken, and even your mind feels foggy. It's not simply a matter of appearance or fitness. It's the core of your vitality. That's why rebuilding muscle is not about lifting heavy weights or chasing youth. It's about reawakening the body's natural intelligence to repair what was always meant to be strong. Now, let's talk about why this fading happens in the first place. The modern lifestyle drains our inner power quietly. Our food is grown in soils that have lost magnesium and zinc. We cover our skin from sunlight, blocking the very light that triggers vitamin D production, one of the body's strongest signals for muscle growth and balance. Our hormones, which once worked in harmony, become sluggish because of constant stress, poor sleep, and processed oils that block the body's natural chemistry. Even if you eat well, if these elements are missing, the message never reaches your muscles. They can't rebuild because the spark that tells them to do so is gone. But here's the truth that should give you hope: your body still knows how to rebuild. It never forgets. The blueprint for strength is written into every cell. All it needs is the right signal, a reminder that nourishment is on its way. When you feed it with the elements it recognizes, it begins to repair, reconnect, and regenerate faster than you'd imagine. Within days of proper nourishment, your energy returns. Within weeks, you feel more stable, more alive in your movements. That's not a miracle. That's the body remembering how to heal. Most people think they need complicated diets or expensive supplements to fix muscle loss. In reality, the answer has always been simple. Nature never hides her medicine far from reach. The foods that can rebuild your strength are often the ones growing in plain sight, the ones shaped like the very organs they help. A slice of carrot mirrors the iris of the eye, a walnut resembles the folds of the brain. There's wisdom in that design. These clues are nature's way of whispering what each food was created to restore. When we ignore these simple gifts, we pay the price with fatigue and weakness. But when we return to them, even in small ways, the change is profound. Your body begins to trust again. It starts responding, rebuilding. I've seen it in hundreds of people. Those who once struggled to climb stairs now walk with lightness. Those who feared frailty now feel energy rushing through them once more. And it doesn't come from a pill or a powder. It comes from real food. Living, breathing nourishment from the earth itself. The loss of muscle and energy is not a sentence. It's a signal, a call for help from your body. Instead of trying to fight age, what if you simply answered that call? What if, instead of pushing harder, you listened closer? The answer may not come from a laboratory, but from something far more ancient, something that's been feeding human strength for generations. It's small, easy to find, and remarkably powerful. Nature, in her brilliance, designed this food not just to fill your stomach, but to repair your system from the inside out. It's packed with the exact combination of nutrients your muscles crave: the protein to rebuild, the oils to lubricate, the minerals to activate, and the antioxidants to protect. It speaks the language your body still understands perfectly, the language of balance and restoration. In the next part of our journey, I'll reveal this humble food, one that you've likely walked past in your kitchen or grocery store 100 times without realizing its strength-giving potential. It's simple, it's natural, and it works in harmony with your body's own design. So before you accept weakness as part of aging, pause and remember this: your body isn't giving up, it's waiting. It's waiting for you to give it what it needs to wake up again. The tremor in your hands, the heaviness in your legs, the tiredness that makes you sit when you'd rather stand. None of these are signs of decay. They're gentle messages from a body that wants to heal. And when you answer them with the right nourishment, that healing begins immediately. By the time we're done, you'll see that your strength was never lost. It was simply dormant, waiting beneath the surface. Nature always gives us the answer, and sometimes it hides it in the most ordinary places. In the next chapter, we'll uncover one of her most extraordinary gifts, a food so simple, yet so complete, that it can reignite the spark of strength inside every muscle of your body. When you discover it, you'll realize that weakness was never your destiny. It was only your body asking for nourishment. If you hold a walnut in your hand and take a moment to really look at it, you'll notice something extraordinary. Its shape mirrors the human brain. 2 hemispheres, each with folds and grooves, just like the ones inside your head. Nature speaks in symbols, and nothing in her design is random. The same food that resembles your brain also nourishes it. But here's the secret very few people realize: this humble nut doesn't just feed your thoughts. It rebuilds your strength. It restores power to the very muscles that carry you through life. It's nature's reminder that healing doesn't always come from a laboratory. Sometimes it's found inside a simple shell. The walnut is one of nature's most complete foods. It contains everything the body needs to rebuild, repair, and renew. I often say that if you want to understand the intelligence of creation, study how whole foods work together. The walnut doesn't just offer one benefit, it offers a symphony, a perfect blend of protein, healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants that communicate with your cells like an orchestra playing in harmony. Each nutrient knows its role. Each one speaks directly to the body's blueprint for strength. Let's begin with protein, because that's where the rebuilding begins. Every time you move, lift, or even stand, tiny fibers in your muscles tear slightly. Your body repairs these microscopic tears using amino acids, the tiny workers of life. Imagine them as skilled craftsmen, each carrying a tool to stitch, patch, and reinforce those fibers stronger than before. Walnuts provide the very building blocks those workers need. They don't overload your system like processed protein powders do. They feed it in a gentle, balanced way. The amino acids in walnuts remind your muscles what they were designed to do: grow, not shrink. The beautiful thing about protein from a plant source is that it doesn't come alone. It travels with natural companions, fats and minerals, that help it work efficiently. And among those companions, The omega-3 fats in walnuts stand out as pure healing energy. Most people today consume far too many damaged oils, the kind found in fried foods, margarines, and packaged snacks. These oils harden the membranes of your cells, making your muscles stiff and inflamed. Omega-3s are the opposite. They act as oil for your body's inner machinery, keeping your joints fluid, your heart flexible, and your muscle cells soft and responsive. When I think of omega-3s, I imagine a well-oiled door hinge. It moves easily and silently because it's nourished. But take away that oil, and the hinge begins to creak and resist. That's what happens in your body when omega-3s are missing. Your muscles don't glide, they grind. They tire quickly and recover slowly. Walnuts restore that flexibility by supplying the exact oils your body can use to rebuild cell walls and reduce inflammation. When inflammation subsides, the body finally gets to work on what matters: healing. There's another unsung hero inside the walnut: magnesium, the mineral of movement. Every single muscle contraction in your body begins with a magnesium signal. When it's missing, the message between your brain and your muscles becomes faint. You feel it as cramps, tremors, or heaviness. Magnesium relaxes and rejuvenates the muscle fibers after effort. It calms the nerves that control them and helps draw oxygen deeper into your tissues. That's why people who begin adding magnesium-rich foods like walnuts often report sleeping better and waking up refreshed. The body cannot rebuild when it's tense or restless. Sleep and recovery are the quiet hours of repair, and magnesium opens that window. In our fast-paced lives, magnesium is one of the first nutrients to disappear. Stress burns it up. Coffee drains it further. Modern farming strips it from the soil. No wonder so many feel tight, anxious, and fatigued without knowing why. A handful of walnuts each day gives your body back that missing spark. It steadies the heartbeat, smooths the muscles, and tells your nervous system you're safe, you can rest, you can heal. As your body relaxes and receives nourishment, something remarkable happens. Your hormones begin to balance naturally. The walnut doesn't push or force your chemistry, it whispers to it. Inside that small shell are plant compounds that gently support testosterone and growth hormone, both crucial for maintaining muscle and energy at any age. For women, these same compounds help keep estrogen and progesterone in balance, supporting tone and vitality. The goal isn't to trick your hormones, it's to remind them of their natural rhythm. When your hormones find harmony, your energy renews itself. You no longer rely on caffeine or sugar to get through the day. Instead, your body starts to produce its own vitality. That's why I often say that walnuts tell the body to grow rather than decay. They don't just feed you, they signal your cells to build, restore, and expand life. And because they do this gently, without overstimulation, the results last. Now let's look deeper into something many people never think about: circulation. For your muscles to rebuild, they need a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients. Think of your blood vessels as rivers. Over time, these rivers can narrow or slow down, starving your muscles of the very nutrients they need. Walnuts help to open these rivers by increasing nitric oxide, a natural compound that relaxes and widens blood vessels. When that happens, oxygen and nutrients reach even the smallest corners of your body. You'll notice your hands feel warmer, your legs less tired, your recovery faster. It's as if the rivers inside you begin to flow freely again. This improved circulation doesn't just feed your muscles. It nourishes your heart and brain too. Remember, your heart is also a muscle. When you support one, you support them all. That's the beauty of nature's design. She never heals one part in isolation. Her remedies work holistically, bringing balance across the entire system. And still, the walnut offers more. Deep within its brown folds are compounds called polyphenols and vitamin E, your body's inner repair crew. These antioxidants patrol your cells, searching for damage caused by stress, pollution, and aging. They act like gentle cleaners, wiping away what I like to call the rust of life. This rust, or oxidative stress, is what makes muscles feel sore and slow to recover. When you give your body antioxidants, you're giving it the tools to rebuild without interference. New muscle fibers form, stronger than before, and your energy feels cleaner, steadier. I sometimes compare the antioxidant power of walnuts to the way sunlight clears a misty morning. When the light touches the fog, everything becomes clearer. That's what happens inside your cells when antioxidants do their work. They lift the haze of fatigue and let your natural strength shine through. Now, you may wonder how walnuts compare to other so-called superfoods. Avocados, for example, are often praised for their healthy fats, and rightly so. But when it comes to building and protecting muscle, walnuts have a distinct advantage. They offer not just fat, but complete nourishment, protein, minerals, and antioxidants all in one. Avocados nourish the body's surface energy, walnuts nourish its deep structure. They work at the level where strength is born, inside the fibers within the blood, in the very spark of each muscle cell. Over the years, I've seen countless people experience remarkable transformations simply by adding this one small habit to their lives. I remember a woman in her late 60s who came to one of my health retreats. She told me her legs felt like lead. Climbing stairs left her breathless, and she feared she'd soon need a walking aid. We worked on her diet, focusing on natural, unprocessed foods, and I asked her to start eating a small handful of walnuts every morning. 30 days later, she walked back into the hall with a smile that said everything. Her steps were lighter, her energy steady. "It feels like someone oiled my joints from the inside," she said, laughing. That wasn't luck. That was nutrition working through nature's perfect design. Her story is not an exception. When you give your body what it needs, it responds with gratitude. It doesn't matter how old you are, the same biological laws apply. The human body is designed to heal, provided it receives real food in its natural form. Walnuts are one of those foods. Complete, balanced, and alive with intelligence. They don't fight against your body's systems, they cooperate with them. So when you next see a walnut, don't just think of it as a snack. Think of it as a message from nature, a reminder that inside something so small lies the blueprint for rebuilding strength, flexibility, within resilience. Within that shell is the story of life's renewal, protein to build, oils to flow, minerals to spark, and antioxidants to repair. Together they form a harmony that no synthetic product can imitate. The truth is, your body doesn't need to be told what to do. It already knows. All it asks is for the right materials to do its job. Walnuts provide those materials in perfect proportion. That's why I call them a miracle in a shell. Not because they work by magic, but because they remind us of how magical the human body really is when fed by the wisdom of nature. Every great healing journey begins with a small, faithful step. After understanding what steals your strength and discovering the humble walnut's hidden miracle, it's time to put that wisdom into motion, because knowledge is only as powerful as the way we live it each day. The next 30 days can become your turning point, the moment your body begins to remember what real strength feels like again. Not through force or struggle, but through nourishment, consistency, and gentle care. Each morning, begin your day with simplicity. Just a small handful of walnuts, 6 to 8 halves, enjoyed slowly, with a glass of pure water and a few minutes of sunlight on your skin. It may sound humble, but it's in these quiet habits that healing begins. The sunlight tells your body it's alive, triggering vitamin D that awakens your muscles. The water refreshes every cell, carrying nutrients to the tissues that need repair. And the walnuts, nature's perfect food, provide the fuel, the building blocks, and the gentle push your body needs to rebuild what time and imbalance may have weakened. You can pair your morning walnuts with foods rich in B vitamins, oats, eggs, leafy greens, or even a simple smoothie with banana and spinach. These nutrients work like teammates in a perfect orchestra, each playing its part to rebuild energy, strengthen the nerves that feed your muscles, and regulate hormones that govern your vitality. When your body receives this harmony of nourishment, it no longer feels the exhaustion of deficiency. Instead, it begins to wake up cell by cell, remembering its purpose. For many, strength isn't lost overnight. It fades quietly through neglect, poor food choices, and stress, so it won't return overnight either, but each day of mindful nourishment brings you closer. Think of your meals not as fuel, but as therapy. Stir a spoonful of crushed walnuts into your morning oatmeal, spread walnut butter over a slice of whole grain toast, or sprinkle a few pieces over your salad at lunch. Each bite is a message to your body: rebuild, restore, renew. In the evenings, you might blend walnuts into a simple smoothie. A banana, a few soaked walnut halves, and a dash of cinnamon in milk or oat milk. This not only satisfies hunger, but nourishes your body before rest, ensuring that while you sleep, your muscles have what they need to grow stronger. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about rhythm. The rhythm of care, the rhythm of nourishment, the rhythm of rest. Food begins the repair, but movement completes it. Muscles grow through use, not just feeding. Gentle leg exercises, slow stretching, and a daily walk in sunlight are enough to awaken circulation and remind your body that it's still strong, still capable. You don't need intense workouts or heavy weights. Even a 10-minute walk after meals, a few minutes of stretching before bed, or light resistance bands can reignite your muscle fibers. As blood begins to flow, oxygen travels freely, carrying the nutrients you've fed your body to every corner where healing is needed. Never underestimate the power of sunlight. 10 minutes a day can do more than most supplements. When light touches your skin, it speaks to your cells, telling them to wake up and generate vitality. This light, paired with your nourishing meals, restores the natural balance between energy and rest, strength and softness. Nature's design is simple. It provides everything we need, if only we slow down enough to receive it. But rebuilding isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. Many people weaken not because of age, but because of stress, worry, and constant tension. Muscles tighten, blood flow slows, digestion falters, and the body becomes starved of peace. True strength comes from within, from a calm mind and a grateful heart. So take moments during your day to breathe deeply, to be thankful for the body you have, and to trust in its divine wisdom. Gratitude is more healing than medicine, and rest is more restorative than resistance. When you rest well, your body goes to work in silence. While you sleep, muscle fibers repair, hormones rebalance, and cells regenerate. Sleep is your body's nightly therapy session, the time it uses to rebuild from the nourishment you gave it during the day. So guard your rest, disconnect from noise before bed, sip warm herbal tea, dim the lights, and allow your body to recover in peace. After 30 days of this simple rhythm, walnuts, sunlight, movement, rest, something beautiful begins to happen. You'll feel it when you climb the stairs, when you stand up from a chair, or when you notice the energy that once felt distant quietly returning. This is not coincidence. This is your body remembering how to live. Nature doesn't rush, and neither should you. Healing happens in cycles, not sprints. Growing older is inevitable. It's part of life's sacred rhythm. But feeling weak, hopeless, or fragile is not. Weakness is not a sign of age. It's a signal of imbalance, and balance can be restored. Your body has never forgotten how to heal. It's been waiting for you to feed it with real food, to move with kindness, to rest with peace, and to believe again in your own vitality. So begin today, not tomorrow. Open your morning with sunlight and a handful of walnuts. Take your walk, nourish your meals, and give your body permission to repair. In a month's time, you'll not only feel stronger, you'll feel younger, more grounded, more connected to the design of nature that's been guiding you all along. If you're ready to experience this transformation, join our 30-day Walnut Strength Challenge. For the next month, walk this path with faith in your body and trust in the simplicity of nature. Share your progress, your stories, and your rediscovered energy with the world. because your journey can inspire others to reclaim their strength too. And as you close this chapter, remember this truth: you are not getting weaker. You are rediscovering what strength really means. It's not the power of youth, but the wisdom of renewal. So stay with us on Older Insight, where we honor the beauty of aging and the healing power of nature. Because your best years aren't behind you. They're waiting just ahead, ready to be lived in strength, grace, and vitality once again.